The stadium lights were off. The season had ended. Winter had settled in like a heavy silence, and yet, somehow, it felt like the baseball world had just started breathing again. Because in the middle of that quiet, a single announcement dropped like thunder. No warning, no warm-up, no hints. Just one message. Shohei Ohtani is playing in the World Baseball Classic. And instantly, everything changed. Social media didn't just wake up. It detonated. Thousands of comments flooded in within minutes, as if everyone had been waiting with their fingers hovering above the screen, ready to explode the moment his name appeared. Some fans were excited. Some were terrified. Some were stunned into silence. But the loudest voices came from the United States. Can't wait for the showdown with Judge. Is he pitching too? Oh man, someone check on the rest of the world. It wasn't just chatter. It was anticipation mixed with awe, wrapped in the kind of nervous thrill people feel before a storm rolls in. Because when Ohtani steps onto a world stage, he doesn't just play baseball. He bends reality. He forces even the impossible to take a seat and watch. And now he was returning to the same tournament where he carved his legend in real time, under the brightest pressure the sport has ever seen. The US fans remembered. Of course they remembered. They remembered the fastball that roared like a cannon. The sweeper that defied physics. The final pitch that froze Mike Trout, the face of American baseball, and sealed a moment so perfect, so cinematic, that even Hollywood couldn't rewrite it better. And now he was coming back. But the narrative this time was different. Because standing across from him wasn't just any opponent. It was Aaron Judge, the home run giant, the captain of the Yankees. The man whose swings feel like controlled earthquakes. The idea of Ohtani versus Judge wasn't just a matchup. It was a collision of universes. A storyline too big for one stadium, too dramatic for one country, too iconic for one tournament. And American fans couldn't look away. Some were excited, almost giddy. Others were anxious, trying to imagine what a 102-mile-per-hour Ohtani fastball might look like against Judge's towering presence in the box. Would Judge crush it into another time zone? Or would Ohtani carve him apart like he has done to so many before? No one knew. And that uncertainty, that beautiful, dangerous unknown, is what made the announcement feel like an earthquake. Commentators on US networks scrambled to react. This is huge. This changes the entire tournament. How do you even strategize against someone who can beat you in two completely different ways? Because Ohtani isn't one player. He's two. A pitcher and a hitter. A destroyer and a creator. A one-man paradox wrapped in a calm smile. And fans in America knew exactly what that meant. If he pitches, you're in trouble. If he hits, you're still in trouble. If he does both, you're praying for a miracle. The announcement spread like wildfire through clubhouses, dugouts, and front offices across the U.S. Some players welcomed the challenge. Some nervously joked about, hoping he has a cold that week. Others simply shook their heads, unable to process the idea of preparing for someone who breaks every rule baseball has ever learned to live with. And as the reactions piled up, one thing became clear. This wasn't just about baseball. It was about legacy, about pride, about a global stage where every pitch, every swing, every gasp from the crowd becomes part of a story bigger than any single player. And yet, somehow, it always circles back to Ohtani. Because every time he steps forward, the world takes a step closer. Japan celebrates him. America respects him. The entire globe stands still to watch what he will do next. And that universal pause, that hush before the roar, that is what makes this announcement feel so much bigger than a headline. It feels like the beginning of something unforgettable. Across sports bars in New York, fans argued about whether Judge or Ohtani would win the duel. In California, people replayed highlight reels from the last WBC just to feel the electricity again. And on Twitter, excitement tangled with fear in a way only Ohtani can inspire. Man, this is gonna be insane. Judge versus Ohtani, I need this now. Please tell me he's pitching. Please. Hope, fear, respect. A perfect mixture. Meanwhile, somewhere in a batting cage, Judge likely smiled when he heard the news. Somewhere in a bullpen, Ohtani probably tied his shoelaces a little tighter. Two giants preparing for a stage made for legends. Two faces of the sport, destined to cross paths again. And the world was ready, aching, for that moment. The countdown hadn't officially begun. Baseball's biggest spotlight was warming up. And every fan, from Tokyo to Los Angeles, could feel the air tightening with anticipation. Because this wasn't just another tournament. This was history waiting to repeat itself, or rewrite itself entirely. Would Ohtani dominate again? Would the US rise to dethrone him? Would the world witness another moment so cinematic it freezes time? No one knew. And that mystery, shimmering, dangerous, irresistible, is exactly why the announcement hit like a lightning strike. One man, one decision, and suddenly the entire baseball universe shifted its orbit. Ohtani is back. Judge is waiting. The world is watching. And somewhere, tucked deep inside the silence between heartbeats, you can already hear it. The crack of a bat. The whistle of a fastball. The roar of millions rising as one. Because legends don't return quietly. They return with purpose. They return with fire. They return to remind the world why they became legends in the first place. And when Shohei Ohtani steps onto the WBC mound again, baseball will stop. Fans will hold their breath. History will tremble. And every soul watching, whether in Japan, America, or anywhere in between, will feel the same thing. This is more than a game. This is destiny. And destiny has just taken the field again.